they probably crashed, probably swam to an island, and it was like tribal.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Maybe ate them all.
Okay.
Bruh.
It's a tribe, bro. Like, what do you expect?
How do you guys think Fruit Loops is spelled?
Fruit Loops?
Fruit Loops.
Like the cereal?
Yeah. Like, you know, like with
Fruit
the
Loops?
toucan?
F-R...
I feel like there was like a... It's used for satanic rituals. It's called like the Shiva. This god represents destruction. They go outside and they like dance around it.
When you put information out,
You think, like, they come after
It's gonna
you?
get
he died mysteriously in 1996, leading many to believe he was silenced for exposing the truth.
The first commandment says, maintain humanity under 500 million.
500 million people?
Yeah.
That's very...
Researchers use CRISPR or like CRISPR for
Oh,
short
yeah, CRISPR.
to modify 7 genes in the mouse. They used it to like develop mammoth-like characteristics into the mouse.
Have you guys heard? I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys have heard, about this famous person, about like the disappearance of like Amelia Earhart,
Yeah.
Yeah.
about like the first female to ever fly.
Yeah.
So Amelia Earhart, because you guys know that she went missing, right?
Mhm.
Like around like the 90s, I think. And then she was the first woman to like ever fly. Because in those times, like back then, like men were like more, I guess you can see, inferior to like women, and vice versa. Because women couldn't fly at that time by themselves. And so during this time, Amelia Earhart, she was a pilot. And according to people, she was a pioneer in the aviation, right? And to some people, she was a badass, because she was a female flying by herself. Well, I think with somebody else across the world, doing like like over Asia, over Pacific Ocean and all that. But she was born in 1897, and she developed a passion to fly like in her early 20s, and then she quickly rose to fame, right? And then in 1928, she became the first woman to fly across the Atlantic Ocean as a passenger, so like as a passenger to somebody else, a male person. And by 1932, she did it solo. She was the first woman in history to achieve this, right? To fly over the Atlantic Ocean, which is only like 3 years after that.
Yeah.
And mind you, she's in her 20s, And then she kept breaking records, like speed records, altitude records, and then she had one goal left. And that goal was to become the first woman to fly around the world. So that's what she was most well known for, breaking records, altitude, speed records, and all that. But she was most well known for like going, trying to finish the whole, trying to fly the whole world at once. And so obviously that brings us to like 1937, when Amelia Earhart and her navigator, Fred Noonan, they took off, which now will become the most infamous flight in history, right? So it all started in June 1st, 1937. So Earhart and Noonan took off from Miami, Florida, right? That's where it all started off, and began their 29,000-mile journey around the world. Imagine being in the same airplane and you're just cocked up in there, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing really to do, just like, all right, I'm breaking records.
Flying, like, straight, like...
in the ocean,
Yeah.
or like over the ocean, over Asia, stuff like that. But so they successfully crossed South America, Africa, India, Indiana, Indiana, and Southeast Asia. So, and then they also made it to LAE, which is like a island or a country, and New Guinea by June 29th. So up to this point, they had already flown like about 20,000 miles. And they only had one major stretch left, which was the Pacific Ocean. Their next stop within the Pacific Ocean stop was Howland Island. So it's a tiny, barely visible speck in the middle of the Pacific. But mind you, like in the middle of the Pacific, it's like those huge, have you ever heard of like the rogue waves? Those huge ass waves? No?
No.
So it's like big, really big, huge waves that like, the oil tankers where they take like all the oil and all the gas.
Yeah.
So it can sink big ships like that. So imagine like rogue waves. Imagine like all the wind, because you're flying. So all the wind, all the thunderstorm. It's just horrible for like navigation, right? And so on July 2nd, 1937, Amelia Earhart and Fred Noonan, they took off from New Guinea, right? And so these are like records of like the last chatter, like with the radio people. And so at midnight, Earhart radio that they were flying at 10,000 feet. So this is before. So this is giving like the data points and the time frames right before like the last radio call. So at midnight, Earhart radioed that they were flying at 10,000 feet in the Pacific Ocean. At 5 a.m., she reported strong winds, and then she was saying that it was slowing them down. So maybe like the winds were so bad that they started to slow down the airplane. Because back in the day, like you don't have like commercial like airliners, not at least not like the advanced technology that we have now, And so by 7:42 a.m., they were supposed to be nearing Holland Island, which was like the Pacific Ocean like spot they were supposed to land, where a U.S. Coast Guard ship, it was called the Itasca, was stationed to guide them in. So like, hey, I see you guys. This is where you got to go, because mind you, it's Pacific Ocean.
Yeah. So
and then at 7:42, Earhart radios in, "We are on you, but cannot see you. Gas is running low." So obviously with the winds, they don't really expect the gas. You use more gas,
because of the wind.
Because of the wind. And her final transmission was at 8:43 a.m. "We are on the line, 157-337." So I'm assuming that's like navigation, like the navigation lines. "We are running north and south." And next thing you know, that was the last radio signal ever heard from her airplane and Amelia Earhart. And then after that, obviously it was just like complete silence. And then Earhart and Noonan were never heard from again. So like this is like and then obviously at time, because this is world news, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the U.S. Navy and the Coast Guard, they searched for weeks, combining thousands of miles of open ocean. And mind you, how many airplanes, Navy ships, and Coast Guard ships? They said it was one of the biggest air and sea searches in history in the Pacific Ocean. But eventually, like, there was no trace of Earhart or Noonan, or like of the airplane, which was called like Lockheed Electra 10E. That's what it was called. And then by July 19th, 1937, they were officially, because you know how like when they try to look for airplanes, or like yo, we're probably looking for them alive, and then after a certain time, like yo, the gas should have ran out, so probably looking for a body now.
Yeah.
But after like all that time of trying to look for them, they declared that that they were lost at sea. And obviously, with the fuel right now, it's in the Pacific Ocean. There's no land, so you're gonna land in the ocean. And then, so obviously, the theory is that they don't know what happened, because they didn't find no wreckage. I mean, it is the Pacific Ocean. It's a lot of ocean, but like no wreckage was ever found or anything. And so there are some theories to this. So some theories is that obviously the most big one is that she ran out of gas and she crashed in the ocean, right? And they couldn't find the wreckage because it's a big ocean. Another theory is that they believe Earhart and Noonan were captured by the Japanese because they flew over the Martian Islands that's controlled by Japan at that time. Because they might see like, oh, that's a spy plane. You know what I mean? And then mind you, this is back in like
1937, no?
1937. So this is before World War II. Yeah. So mind you, obviously it is before World War II, but before leading up to that, you're like, the Japanese might know, hey, I know we're going to go to war, but it's just a matter of time.
There's tension there.
There's already tension going on to make, oh, look at that, it's a spy plane. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, so that's one. That's the second one. And then the third one is, which is really interesting, is that suggests that Earhart, Amelia Earhart and Noonan didn't crash in the ocean, but actually landed on a remote island.
Wait, because I've always heard, like, I swear I heard that they, like, landed somewhere, but, like...
Yeah, it was, like, somewhere in island, like, somewhere in the Pacific Ocean. And then when I was doing my research, it was saying that they found bones, like, by a beach or something like that. And obviously, with technology back then, they couldn't test no DNA and all that. But not recently, but, like, a couple years ago, they tested it out for, like, the DNA in the bones. And they concluded that it was somebody from Europe and a female bone.
Oh.
but like, they didn't specify like the name of it.
Yeah.
What do you guys think happened?
I mean, it makes sense if like they got captured because like us like considering the time that it was, and then also like the lands that they were flying over it makes sense that like the Japanese would try to capture them. But also like I swear like I heard that they landed somewhere, but like it was just like a remote land, like there was nothing there, so like they had to like survive on like little like it was like they had to survive. But I don't know. But
okay, let's just say if they do crash in the ocean, what the hell do you do? What do you do? Like,
what do you mean? What do you do?
Well, like survival. That's what I mean. Because you don't have a boat. Because boat. You don't have those like boat inflatables in the airplane. You're not gonna have that.
No.
Like once you go down, that's it. And not only that, like I said, the big waves. If you go in the ocean, on top of that, the sharks, bro. The sharks in the Pacific. It's a lot of sharks in the Pacific Ocean. I'm like, what do you do? How do you radio somebody in when you have nothing on you? You know what I mean?
Well, I feel like if it was a crash, like, I don't know.
But mind you, it's a small plane. It's not like a commercial plane where you can like see it from like satellite,
I don't know. Like, what do you think?
I think like if they were flying over islands, right?
They were flying over islands, but obviously it's islands. The main one is obviously the Pacific Ocean, and obviously that's like one of the biggest oceans out there, and the roughest as well. Like as far as like wind wise, thunderstorm wise, and like
I feel like if they did go to an island, it was probably like a tribal island. Maybe a tribe lived there.
That's a good one. That's a good one. So you think they probably crashed, probably swam to an island, and it was like tribal?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Maybe ate them. I don't know.
Okay.
Bro.
It's a tribe, bro. Like, what do you expect?
I mean, it does make sense. Because, I know there's one island, like, I know it's very well known. I don't know where is it at, but there's one well-known island where, like, a journalist, like, went to an island.
Oh, I heard about that. I heard about that.
A remote island, and he was taking pictures and all that, and they were all smiling, but, like...
Next thing you know, that, like, they ate him.
Yeah. Because, mind you, like, they never had contact before that journalist. Nobody has ever been there before. But I know that island is sealed off now because, it's, like...
It's banned.
The whole like they don't want to interfere with their the culture and all that. But yeah, that's pretty much Amelia Earhart disappearance.
Yeah. Have you guys heard of like the simulation theory?
No, I mean we are in a simulation. That's fine.
Well, that's basically the theory that I was saying. So basically, the theory claims that like our life, like everything we feel, we see, and we touch. Is all like through a highly advanced computer, so it's not like we're not really living. We're living through a computer.
So you're saying
like a game?
Yeah, like a video game. Yeah, like a video game.
Kind of like the Matrix.
Yeah, this like kind of also inspired the Matrix.
So like take the blue pill or take the red pill.
Bro, get out of here, bro.
Get out. And then it was saying that like this simulation was made by like a highly advanced civilization, or it could be us from the future. Think about it. And then there's also evidence to like prove the simulation theory. The first evidence is like, of course you guys heard this, like the Mandela effect, right?
Yeah.
So basically the Mandela effect is like where we remember some things being different than how they are right now. And it's said that the Mandela effect, it's supposed to be like a glitch in the simulation. Like a glitch. Like something went wrong, and then that's why people were like, oh, but I remember it this way.
Gotcha.
Like, how is it not this way? So it's like a glitch in the simulation, right? And let me show you some examples of the Mandela effect. So you guys know Fruit of the Loom, right?
Bruh.
Yeah.
I've heard this one.
Okay. Do you think that I don't even know what it's called, like the little...
I'm talking about the little like, the little, it's like a horn at the end. Yeah, and
like,
then the fruit inside. Yeah.
Do you guys think that was always there or no?
Yeah, it was there. I remember having shirts like that because I used to wear Fruit Looms all the time.
Okay, because I swear it used to be right there.
Yeah, it was.
But there's none. It was never
there. No. That's a Mandela effect. It was, and then I also saw that they reached out to the company if they ever had that, and the company said we never had that. I'm like, what the hell? Like,
no,
bruh.
But I swear, like, it was always
no,
there.
it was.
Yeah.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one Mandela
Unless
effect.
I'm tripping, but yeah, it was on there.
Okay, the next one is have you guys heard of like the Berenstain Bears?
The what?
The Bear-Stained Bears. You guys ever heard of it?
No.
No.
It's like a cartoon show of like a bear family and like how they live and everything. And it was like a mom and like
It's like Yogi the Bear type thing.
no, bro. Like it was like a dad bear, a mom bear, and then like a brother and son bear. And it was like I used to watch the show when I was little. Like, come on, guys, come on now.
No.
Okay, basically, like the Mandela effect is like how the bear stain, the stain part was spelled. People think that it was like spelled with the STEIN, but it's actually spelled STAIN. So stain.
Mm.
But like I swear, like if you guys see it, like the
Oh my God! Yes, I know.
What? What do you
I know them. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys show me. When was
so
he?
basically, like the spelling is the only thing that's different. Cause the original, what people thought it was that it was spelled STEIN, but it's actually spelled with like stain, bear stain bears,
What the hell?
not bear stain bears.
Mm.
Ready? Okay, this last one, I did not know like how it was, but how do you guys think Fruit Loops is spelled?
Fruit Loops,
Fruit Loops.
like the cereal.
Yeah, like like the with
Fruit
the
Loops.
toucan.
FR.
I feel like there was like a.
Okay.
Hey, Fruit FROT, right? Fruit Loops.
I feel like there was a FROOT.
Wait, I swear it was always like fruit, like FRUIT.
No, it was FROO.
Yeah,
No.
I feel like
That was Fruit
FROO.
Loops.
I swear it was always like the Fruit Loops.
No, it was not for like actual fruit. It was Fruit Loops. FROOT.
I remember it as actual the fruit, but it's FROOT.
Yeah, it was.
I remember.
did not
the-
remember
No,
that.
I don't remember fruit. I remember fruit.
I remember Fruit Loops, like the actual fruit. But that's like another Mandela.
Do you like Fruit Loops?
Yeah, who doesn't like Fruit Loops?
You like Fruit Loops?
Yeah.
I feel like the best one is hands down. You can't say anything about it. Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I guess, but
Cinnamon
like,
Toast Crunch or what was the other one? Lucky
my
Charms.
Lucky Charms.
Apple
Yeah, Lucky
Jacks?
Charms.
I was gonna say Apple Jacks. I love
hell
Apple
no.
Jacks.
Oh,
Apple Jacks.
that one commercial, the cinnamon and the apple
The
racing.
cinnamon stick and then the apple. Yeah, I always loved Apple Jacks. Okay, but basically, going back to the theory, like these Mandela effects were basically a glitch in the simulation. And another like thing they say is that another glitch in the simulation is when you have deja vu.
Ah.
So they're saying like you know how deja vu is like, oh, you remember like being here or you remember seeing it or something like that. They say that like it's just like a simulation and a glitch in the simulation that you already been here and you're doing it again.
So your past life or something like that.
Yeah, like you basically it's like
I mean that makes
glitch.
sense. That makes sense.
basically. Another evidence is like you guys know what NPCs are, right?
Bro, yeah.
Yeah.
So basically they're saying the reason why there's NPCs and strange people in our lives is because they're actually like NPCs in the simulation. Because they're put there by the computer to seem like everything is so normal. But in reality, like these people act like NPCs like in a video game.
What the hell? What do you actually think we're in a simulation? But like my thing is, okay, if you do say we are in a simulation, who controls it? Is it like aliens or okay, you know
that's
what?
what
Okay, as soon as you said, all right, you know what popped in my head as soon as you said simulation. Do you remember in Men in Black at the end?
Yeah.
So what happens at the end, right? So like
bro,
they
that's the thing.
well, okay, so let me tell you this. So like it's Earth, right? And it starts zooming out, like showing like the bird eye point of view. And next thing you know, like a big alien, Earth and like the galaxy, like the Milky Way, was just like a marble. Like do you see what I'm saying? Like a simulation, like a computer. Like we're small compared to
Yeah.
like whoever's controlling us.
So
You know
you're
what I mean?
saying that like in the Men in Black, there was an alien that was controlling this like marble.
Marbles that symbolize the galaxies, which in reality right now the galaxies are like what hundreds and millions of like light years away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But to him, whoever was controlling it, the alien or whatever, it was just like a small little marble, kind of like a
Yeah.
a simulation. You know what I mean?
That's very interesting. I didn't.
Or the Matrix one, like
Yeah, it was basically like the Matrix one is like one that's like really connected with like the simulation theory.
Damn.
Okay, but the other evidence that also like supports this theory is like unexplained memory wipes. So you know when like okay you're doing something right, but then you're like wait, well like what was I here for? Or like what did I like? I know I was thinking of something, but
Like
I
you
forgot
lose your
of
train
it.
of thought.
Yeah, you lose your train
Gotcha.
of thought or like you just forget. So it is said that like during these moments, the one who's controlling the computer or the simulation that you're in, they do like memory adjustments, or they reset your memory. So that's why like during that time you're like, wait, why am I here? So that's why. So it makes you like forget what you're doing at the moment. And these are led by the computer, who was managing by the computer of the simulation.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that's basically the simulation theory.
Simulation theory.
That's crazy.
I mean, I can see it though. You know what I mean?
Like low-key, yeah, but
because I see some stuff, I'm like, yo, come on, man, like, doesn't make any sense. Like some things I see on a daily basis, I'm like, all right, bro, we have to be in a simulation.
Have y'all heard of like this company called like CERN?
I think I heard about it.
Well, it's like this company, and they don't have like authority, but they have like the world's like largest like collider, right? Like the biggest one in the world. And many people like think it's like weird, cause like there's like weird things that like happen in the building and like outside. So it's a European organization, and it's for like nuclear research, you know, to like make nukes and all that. And one of the theories that they thought was like interesting was that like it's like kind of like time travel, but like I don't know how to explain it, but it's like time travel, right? And so like the science behind this is that when you manipulate particles at such a high energy level, and mind you, it's like very big, so like
big reactor.
Like, yeah, it's a big one. That you could open a pathway to the past or present or future.
It's like time traveling, bruh. If you had the option to time travel,
Matt is going on.
what the hell? We're like, I'm just like.
Would you go to the past?
Hey, you guys never saw that? Just quick side note. You guys never saw that picture of Mike Tyson, that fight? And that famous picture where, like, in the crowd.
iPhone?
The iPhone.
Yeah.
Bro, somebody had an iPhone like this, bro. Nobody, and then, not even Blackberries were back then. It was just, like, the big flip phones, the big-ass ones?
Yeah.
They used to have those. And in the crowd, you see, like, people taking pictures, right? But in the crowd, you see, like, a rectangular, it looks exactly like an iPhone. But, like, an older one. But, like, I'm just saying, like.
Wait, but, like, Mike Tyson was fighting during, like, the what?
In Vegas. Like, a boxing fight.
But, like, during what time?
Oh, this is like when he was like young. He was like in the 80s.
Prime?
In his prime, probably in his prime. Because I know it was a big fight. And then, and because you know how like all the media people just take pictures of the fight and everything. And then one in the background, in the crowd, you just see somebody holding up like an iPhone.
So an iPhone in the 80s?
So somebody must have came out like, hey, yo, man, I want to go back in time to like the Mike Tyson fight. I mean, it makes sense like out of all the times. You mean? I would choose one of those times too.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
And like, people think that like when CERN does these stuff, it like alters to like the fabric of time, which is like dangerous because like if you go to present and like you change something, it's gonna be different.
Oh yeah.
Wait, you go to present?
No, I mean past. And like they do this by controlling gravitational waves or space-time continuum, which is like very weird. And like why they speculated this is because of the Mandela effect.
Oh my god.
We're just talking about that right now, but like they say like when the Mandela effect, for those who don't know, is like when a large amount of people like remember things that like allegedly wasn't there. It shows that like CERN, like what if they're like shifting through timelines and we just don't know it.
So you're saying that like CERN is like shifting through timelines and that's the result of the Mandela effect?
Yeah.
Damn.
You know, as soon as you said that, you know what popped in my head?
Bro, hold on.
You know what?
What?
Have you watched Loki?
No, I haven't watched Loki.
Bruh, you know watch Loki? The Disney
Thor's brother?
Yeah, huh?
Thor's
Thor's brother.
Yeah.
But have you ever
No,
watched
I've
the
not
show?
watched it.
So it's a show, right? And then as soon as you said that, I'm like, oh, this kind of makes sense now, because like in the show, there's time travel from the past and the present, and there's multiple timelines. But within a certain timeline, they have this corporation that manages all the timelines, where they can go back and forth and change things before it even happens. Like they can control the timeline. You know what I mean? Like they're their enforcers. So for example, if you're doing too much in a timeline, they take you back to the past or to the future. I was just making a small connection because like he was saying that they keep on messing with the timelines. The timelines. And I was like, because if like he's right, because like if you go back in time, for example, right? Let's just say, for example, if I see myself in the past, wouldn't that change my future?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Right?
definitely.
That's scary though, because like
you're just one day just like doing whatever, and then
they're eating, bro, and you just walk by. What the hell? And then they change your whole like perspective of how you think, in the future.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, just a little side note.
Another theory, like, people suspect is, like, the LHC, the collider, is used as, like, a weapon that's gonna, like, destroy the world, wipe it out.
Wipe it?
Extinction. And then they think this because, like, it revolves, like, I don't know, what is it? Catastrophic events?
Catastrophic
events, like a black hole that can consume
Oh,
the Earth.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And people believe that the LHC has the abilities to create conditions similar to those after, like, the Big Bang and maybe even a black hole. Which people are saying that the scientists, like, they might not know that the risk they're putting the world at with this big collider.
Yeah.
Because, like, anything could happen with this. And they just don't know it. The weirdest, like, one that's, like, interesting to me is that, like, it's used for satanic rituals.
Wait, but how though? Like,
I think it's called a Shiva. Let me search it up.
but how would you use like a time traveling like device to like do that?
Maybe to like get all the power.
It's called like the Shiva, and it's like a god, an Indian god. I think in Hinduism or Buddha, I don't know. I think it's Hinduism, and this god represents destruction.
Gotcha.
Which is like part of the theory. And the weirdest part is that, like, I don't know if they were ex-employee, but an employee, right? They said, like, before, like, I don't know if it's every day or before every experiment, they go outside, and I think it's been, like, seen by people, and they, like, dance around it.
The hell? Like a ritual or something like that?
Yeah, kind of like that. Which is, like, weird. Especially with this, like, god. It means, like, destruction.
So maybe it's, like, symbolism for, like, yo, if you keep using this, it's going to destroy the whole world or,
I don't know. It's weird. I find that most interesting.
That's really crazy.
Like, dancing around the statue.
Or maybe they do that so they don't destroy themselves. So, you never know with that much power.
Damn, I did not know that.
But, yeah, that's basically it.
So I got a good one and scary one, to be honest. Have you guys ever heard of the... So you know how, like, all this stuff is going... Which is... When I picked this topic, it was pretty interesting because you know how right now in the world, what's going on right now? You're hearing that all about the alien stuff, the UFOs, that they're species, you know what I mean? And then this one's pretty interesting. Like I said, it's called. Have you guys heard of the Project Bluebeam? No. So Project Bluebeam is a conspiracy theory that claims that NASA and the United Nations have a top secret plan to create a false flag event in the world. So, right? So essentially what it is like to simulate an alien invasion.
Wait, I think I heard of it.
You heard about
before.
it?
Yeah.
It's like to make it like fake an alien invasion or simulate like a religious like apocalypse. Like you know how a lot of people talk about the 11 trumpets and all that.
Yeah,
the 7 trumpets.
Yeah, the 7 trumpets. And then after you hear the 7th one, like, stuff comes down or like asteroids and all that, and it's a big apocalypse. And then so there's different stages within the Bluebeam, right? So that was the first stage. The second stage is to manipulate human psychology with mind control technology. The third stage would be to break down all religions and replace them with one world faith. So like all the faiths and all religions in the whole world just get destroyed by the knowledge of like the aliens and stuff like that. And then stage 4 would be to establish a world government under control of a secret elite. First of all, I already know there's an elite, bro. There has to be an elite in this world that control, hey yo, this is what you're gonna build. We're gonna go to the moon during this day, you know what I mean? There has to be an elite. And so this is very interesting how it was brought up, right? So Project Bluebeam was first introduced in 1994 by a Canadian investigative journalist. His name was Serge Monist. And Monist claimed he discovered classified documents that outlined NASA's plan for global deception, right? So, once he read these files, these classified files, he published a book detailing Project Bluebeam and how it will unfold in the 4 stages, what I just told you about. And of course, like, you know, when you put information out,
He's gonna, like, they come after him.
he died mysteriously in 1996, leading many to believe he was silenced for exposing the truth. And mind you, the book he came out was in 1994. So what's that, 2 years after that book? Or like once he got all that knowledge, 2 years after that, he somehow died.
You know what that reminds me of? Have you heard of, like, that one Canadian guy where, like, he saw, like, this, like, big, like, not alien-like, but, like, tall, like, creature on the mountain?
Oh yeah, I seen it. It was on they said it was like Bigfoot or something like that.
Yeah, and like
helicopters were like transferring something, like military helicopters.
Yeah, the day after, like, there was helicopters, and like he was like putting videos of, like, he has to, like, stop saying all these things because then, like,
and like he was getting stopped by like people in like unmarked cars
and like after that, like, nothing of him, no records, nobody knows he's at no
gone.
more.
And then the fact that he died right after that, all that information releasing all that, made it more credible. You know what I mean? Because what happens when you say something that the government doesn't want you to say? You get whacked by CIA or your own government, you know? Because they don't want that info out there. And so, obviously, like I said, stage 1 will be the first step of Project Bluebeam. So, according to Most, it is a destruction of major world religions through fake discoveries. So, for example, like archaeological findings, that would change religious beliefs, like discovering ancient texts that contradict Christianity, Islam, or Hinduism. And then the goal of that is to shake people's faith and weaken religion's institutions, making them more susceptible to manipulation, which obviously goes in effect with stage 2, which is that Monist claimed that the elite would use advanced holograms to project massive images of religious figures or even aliens into the sky, like God is coming down, or you know what I mean, stuff like that, or aliens are coming down. This would be done using, which makes a lot of sense, this would be done using the HARP system, which is a high frequency active research program, and satellites equipped with holographic projectors, like you know, in Star Wars, what is that called, holograms, you know, when they talk to people, a hologram. That makes sense, because I'm like, yo, somebody's bound to make this technology by then, you know what I mean? And that goal is to create like mass hysteria and make people worship like a fake messiah, or like it sets the stage of global control, which leads into stage 3, a fake alien invasion or a global apocalypse. Kind of like 2012. You know, have you seen the movie 2012? Yeah. Like when earthquakes and tsunamis just hit, or like a fake invasion. And then kind of like what is that movie called? With Will Smith and. Is that Independence Day? There you go. Kind of like Independence Day. Like, you know, like all the aliens blow up all the buildings and all that. Okay. Bruh. And so, like I said, absolute chaos, and that's exactly what they want. And then stage 4, once the world is in panic, the final stage is to introduce a global dictatorship. So there's no more, it eliminates national borders. So no more states, no more country borders. It abolishes all traditional religions, replaces governments with a single ruling entity. So whoever is the entity, they rule everything, the whole world. So they can say what to do, what you can't do. And bro, this just scares me. So total surveillance and control over every human being. Where are we going right now? With I have nothing against it, but like EVs. Why do you want us to go to EV or like electric vehicles? Oh. Like, why do they want? Like, wait, and then you know, why do they want us to go with electric vehicles?
And you know how, like, in Tesla, in cars, they have like the camera and they can see you. Yes, and then it shows that, like, yes, they. And then you
don't know, like, what makes them stop. What's stopping them from like shutting off? You know what I mean? Or like the data is collecting from you. How do you drive? You know what I mean? And another thing, to enforce this, bruh, this scared me, and it makes a lot of sense. They would implant microchip, and mind you, this is coming from the book. This is coming from the book. They will implant microchips into people. What is Elon doing, bro?
He already implanted a microchip.
Yes,
someone.
and then he's already. What is in the mind? Like if it's in your mind, it's making you how you think, how you act. You know what I mean? Like certain situations, how do you act and how do you think? And it's feeding all that data to whoever has the servers or whatever. You know what I mean? Bro, and another one, or use 5G/AI powered mind control to keep the population obedient. What's the big thing right now? AI, ChatGPT. What's going on with the towers, bro? 5Gs. All the towers are 5Gs now, bro. And the end goal of all this is to have a new world order where resistance is impossible. So no more resistance from, the people who don't want it. What do you guys think? That was scary, bro. Okay, before you guys say anything, do you guys know the World Economic Forum? Have you guys heard about that?
No.
So these are the elites of the elites, like the ones that have a lot of money and a lot of influence. Essentially, they come together every year, and they say what's gonna happen in the future. Like, for example, oh my God, this is a big one, bro. It scared me. Before the pandemic, which was in 2020, a couple years before that, they said we are not ready for a disease to come by. And we're doing mass trials, like a simulation of a of a pandemic. And then what happened a couple years after that?
COVID-19,
bro.
That's crazy.
And then what's so a couple years before this whole AI stuff started happening, they said because essentially the whole meeting is about what's in the future, like what is the technology that we're gonna use and all that, and what's gonna be the greatest, I guess you can say, investments. And a couple years before this whole like ChatGPT and AI stuff. What do they say? 5G towers, AI, and where are we at now? AI is everything now. And like with the whole microchips thing, with the NVIDIA thing, I don't know, bro, it's crazy. But mind you, like you don't think there's some like power above, like not religious stuff, but like elites that control. You know what I mean?
I think there is. I think this is definitely because like the world is so big that like there definitely has to be some
or certain, don't want to say any names, but certain families that control, you know what I mean? What do you think?
It's pretty weird.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. But like I said, that's pretty scary because, like, I don't know, man. Everything he said in the book or, like, things that connect you to it are coming to fruition.
I was going to say how, like, when you were talking about how, like, there was, like, they want to do this so there's no resistance anymore. Have you guys ever, like, read the book 1984?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So basically, I read this book during like AP literature, and when I was in high school, and it was basically saying how like everything you do, everything you say is being like recorded.
Oh yeah,
and being
100%.
like you're being viewed by like basically the elites, and when you try to resist it, like knock you out.
So I don't know if this ever happened to you guys, but when you guys have I have an iPhone.
Wait, I think I know what you're talking about.
But like when I'm having a conversation with like somebody, like for example, perfect example, I wasn't even searching anything on TikTok. I was just talking about Harry Potter for whatever reason.
And it pops up on Google.
And then it popped up in Google. Or like
I
just started getting reels or like TikTok. What
like,
the
for
hell?
Me, like I was talking to my friend like about the show Supernatural. And then I did not have any supernatural stuff on like the show, right?
Yeah, Supernatural.
So and then
the two guys, right?
Yeah, Sam and Dean. And then all of a sudden, like I did not have it on any of my TikTok, but all of a sudden after the conversation, it started popping up on my TikTok, and I was just like, "This is." But really you don't think somebody weird.
Is like hearing you guys like?
No, but there's also this like this is already a theory that like your iPhone or your phone is like listening to everything.
Oh, you don't know when you're talking, you don't see those images on top of your iPhone like it turns orange or blue.
Like the little dot?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Could that be... Because when I'm talking, when I start off, it doesn't do that. But as soon as I start talking, like, after, like, 10 seconds, it pops up. I don't know. It's kind of sus.
I feel we're definitely...
Also, I don't know if you guys seen this. This actually scared the crap out of me. So, iPhone takes pictures of your face every 3 seconds. So,
really?
So you can't see it. But the thing is, people don't see it. It's because it's in a certain... Our eyes can't see it. Like if it's at night, like it's not night vision. It's a certain type of vision you have to see it. Like because you know how they have like what is that heat signature Like when you can see like body heat, that's one
yeah,
vision.
yeah.
Another one is like night vision. Another one, I forgot what it's called, but it's a vision where they were showing they had the goggles or something like that, and then it will show like your face every 3 seconds. Your face will like lit up, like of white, showing that it's taking photos. From
Yeah, I've heard about that, and I heard that like, you know, like.
Also, let me say this. Sorry, I gotta say this. If we're not being watched, bro, why is Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of Facebook, he had a Zoom meeting? But before he had it, he kind of, I think it was on his iPhone. He showed his laptop. On his laptop, bro, he covered the camera.
Wait, what?
So, like, he was having a Zoom meeting on his iPhone. But then he switched the iPhone to, like, the camera view to look towards, like, the scenery or whatever.
Yeah.
And his laptop was there. And on his laptop, on the camera, he had it on taped up.
Really?
What does that show, bro? If the CEO is doing it, you don't think you should be doing it? Because he knows
That's
we're
crazy.
getting watched. But yeah.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Well, I'm gonna say. Well, there's like this theory where like everything the government's gonna do is shown in movies.
Oh yeah, I seen that too. Like they symbolize what they're gonna do.
Like before it happens, they show like they don't tell you about it, but they like do like symbolism about it.
Yeah, I truly believe. Like for example, like that. We already talked about this in another episode, but like the fake moon landing. The fake moon landing, like they never went to the moon. At least the first couple times. Yeah. And they came out with was it a year ago, 2 years ago? It was a movie essentially, how they hired like this person to hire a Hollywood director to like fake the whole moon landing, and how to hire actors and pretty much people from Hollywood, and they had this big like area to do it at. But like, and then for example, like have you guys seen that, bro, this one was like, whoa. That one movie was like all the technology went down. Where like at the world end or something like that. Yes, that one. And then like it's like a family and like all the Teslas in the movies are getting controlled.
Wait, they're all like driving in the movie. They're all like driving. Yes.
There's a boat ship. They're on the beach. It starts off with they're on the beach, the family, and then because you know the oil tankers, they're controlled by like navigations and sometimes AI. It goes into it shipwrecks onto the beach. Yeah. The airplanes, they start like coming off, crashing because like the navigation, they don't know where they are because you know how you use the navigation to know where they are. Yeah. And they're all coming down. I don't know, man. Just stuff like that. Like it symbolizes like maybe they want to do this or.
But like in the movie, they did it to like control like the population, no? To essentially like create a civil war in the like in America between people. Damn. Yeah. That's like interesting.
But yeah, that's pretty much Project Bluebeam.
Have you guys ever heard about like the Georgia Guidestones?
No.
Okay. So basically in Obert County, Georgia, there's these like famous stones that people like often visited. And it's basically, let me show you guys a picture. It's basically 4 upright stones and then one on top, like laying on top of all 4, right? So basically, it is like on these 4 upright stones, there's 10 commandments and they're in 8 languages, right? So these languages were English, Spanish, Swahili, I think that's how you say it, Hindi, Hebrew, Arabic, Chinese, and Russian. And I'm going to tell you what the commandments were saying, okay? The first commandment says, maintain humanity under 500 million in the perpetual balance with nature, right?
So what is that?
Wait, like keep 500 million people?
Yeah.
That's very...
Wait. The second one says, guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity, right? Number 3, unite humanity with the living new language. Number 4, rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. Number 5, protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Number 6, let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Number 7, avoid petty laws and useless officials. Number 8, balance personal rights with social duties, Number 9, prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. I don't know what that means. But number 10. Be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. So basically, it's saying that like these commandments like obviously talk about population control. I think it's eugenics and like selective breeding, global unity and a one world government. So basically, what you're talking about, like the elites and like everything gets like dismantled and becomes one. Suppression of religion and personal beliefs. So basically, what you're saying again. And then environmentalism and anti-human sentiments, social engineering and the greater good. And then they were basically talking about like these. But on the the top stone that I showed you, that was laying on all four, it says, "Let these be guidestones to an age of reason." And it said in the ancient languages. So there's 4 ancient languages that it said in. It said in classical Greek, Sanskrit, Egyptian hieroglyphics, and then Babylonian. Yeah, Babylonian. So like,
but do they know the date like where that was done?
All they know is like the person who created this was I think he was called like R.C. Christian, but like they still don't know that much about him. So like they really don't know why this was created or like when, how, and why. So they're just like, oh, like
maybe he knew something that he couldn't portray to the world, but he could just say in like a symbolism, you know what I mean, like a message, but like not sending it to the world because
And then there's 2 theories to why like this was like made. The first theory was like this was like a philosophical guide to like a peaceful, like sustainable, like a good like society and a good like earth. But then the other theory says that like these stones and the commandments were like a blueprint for the new world order and for like how they should run the world and everything. So yeah, but then like mysteriously on July 6, 2022, these stones were bombed. Mysteriously.
Bruh. Wait, where is this?
Georgia.
United States or?
Yeah. Where's Georgia,
bro? Well, bruh, you do know it's a Georgia country, right?
No, bro, this is like the United States.
Wait, so it was...
I'm pretty sure.
Wait, so it was bombed?
It was bombed mysteriously. Like, I'm gonna tell you what happened, right? Okay, it's 4:03 a.m. and the security cameras, they like all of a sudden...
They stopped working.
No, they captured a bright flash and then like a powerful explosion at the site. So basically they captured the explosion, right?
Uh-huh.
And then a lot of the stones were like, damaged, so it was not that readable anymore what they were saying. And then like the security cameras, they catch like a silver sedan leaving the area after it was bombed.
A silver sedan.
Yeah, leaving the area after it was bombed. And then because of this, like the authorities were like, maybe this was not vandalism. Maybe this was something like bigger or or even bigger. And then like they were like, you know what? We should get rid of the rest. So they
of course
they got rid of the little pieces left over. So there's still like we don't know why or how these stones got like
but it's
made or destroyed.
Well, in my opinion, it's probably like information that they don't want out there.
Yeah.
And then probably like, yo, you gotta like take this. You gotta be gone, blow it up or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's some organization out there that did not want this out there, so they definitely.
But obviously, if they didn't want it out there, that means the information might be legit, or it might
crucial
be
to like something
crucial to
something important.
Yeah, or it can go against whatever their beliefs are. You know.
So yeah, these things were very like mysterious and like we were like.
But like people already know what it said, though, right?
Yeah, people already know what it said, but like people they were like trying to. I guess some people were trying to find the true meaning of this. But then it got bombed. So
maybe like the true meaning was on the stones, but that's why.
But nobody ever found out about him. So like they were like, you know what, we gotta get rid of it.
What the hell?
Before they find out.
That's really weird.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So my theory is that like it's very crazy and it's called the woolly mouse. Have you heard of it?
I think so. Is that the mouse? The mammoth mouse, something like that?
Yeah. It just came out like this month, March.
Uh-huh.
And look, let me show you a picture of it. It's basically like this mouse that has genetics from the woolly mammoth.
Mm.
And for those who don't know what the woolly mammoth is, it's like an elephant-like creature that like lived in like, was it Antarctica?
No, it was like in the tundra regions.
I don't know.
Like back in the ice, like in the Ice Age times.
Yeah.
But like
I know. I can think about Ice
environment.
Age.
Oh, the movie with the saber tooth and that.
And look, this is how it looks. All furry.
All furry. What the
Like-
hell?
So
essentially, they got DNA from mammoths. Cause you know how I don't know if you guys know, but you know they found like baby mammoths like frozen.
Yeah.
Cause that's the thing that they were saying is that obviously with mammoths is different with the DNA because like they died and lived on tundra. So when the tundra like the snow and all that, it like keeps everything mummified. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if it died yesterday. So when the researchers or like the scientists go in there, they can take their DNA out. You know what I mean? Because it's all like mummified and preserved. But like you're saying they got the DNA, put it in a mice or a rat, and now the rat has like mammoth fur.
No, I think it was like eggs.
Eggs?
So they
I
put
don't
the
know.
DNA into like
Into
mice
the eggs,
eggs.
and then they mutated.
Gotcha. Mm.
Damn.
So this was made by like a company called Colossal Biosciences.
Oh my god, I heard of them one. Yeah, I heard. Sorry.
And they announced this animal on March 5th. And this company, it like focuses on like de-extinction of past animals.
I think I heard. I think
Like
I
the
heard about
saber-tooth
it.
tiger, woolly mammoth, all that.
I think they're also doing the dodo bird. I think so. You know the dodo bird, right?
Yeah, I know the dodo
bird.
And the researchers use CRISPR, or like CRISPR for short,
Oh yeah, CRISPR.
to modify 7 genes in the mouse. This like to modify the 7 genes in the mouse, they used it to like develop mammoth-like characteristics into the mouse.
Gotcha.
And they targeted the genes, mostly the hair traits, which was how long the hair was, the color of it, the texture, and the pattern. And like the mice have like the characteristic of like adapting to the cold, like the woolly mammoths did.
Because they have the same traits and everything. Yeah.
And the mouse looks like a goldish, brownish like fur with long and wavy hair. And it's weird because like normal mouses, their is it whiskers?
The whiskers, yeah.
Like they go straight out. But with these ones, they're like wavy and like.
Because
curl out.
remember the mammoth, they have curvy
tusks.
So maybe it can
They also have they developed a fat metabolism, so that metabolism could like keep them warm during like cold times.
Because remember the mammoths are like living in the
they're meant to be in a cold temperature.
Tundra and Ice Age times.
And people are like, is this a sign that we're going to a new era where they're developing mutated, like new mutated species?
Yeah, I feel like, in my opinion, that's pretty scary because, like, what stops them from, like, doing it to humans?
Well, aren't they already doing it to humans? Like, isn't there, like, a thing in China that they that they could have, like, did the gender of, like, children?
What?
Like, like, they did, you could choose the gender of the baby that you want.
What
like,
the hell?
In China, didn't they do that?
I don't know.
I remember they did that.
I mean, I
Or
wouldn't
no?
be surprised, like, they have black sites for, like, human testing. I wouldn't be surprised, you know what I mean? But also that's scary because, like, what are they gonna say? Hey, man, if you want a kid with blue eyes, long hair, 10 bands right here. I'll do it for you. I mean, it's scary. I feel like this is the next big things. AI and then genetic mutations. Because genetic mutations is like, what, I want a third leg. Or like for example, I mean, like what I'm saying is like weird stuff. Like it can be good and bad, right? Like bad stuff, it can be like if it gets this technology can get in the wrong hands, like they can sell stuff on a black market. You know what I mean? It's just like bad stuff, but at the same time, it can be used for good. Like for example, like veterans when they lose their like limbs and stuff like that, this company can like not build, but like make arms or stuff like that, kind of like lizards, you know what I mean? When they Spider-Man when they grow back. Yeah. But I did see that they were making that they're gonna make a woolly mammoth by 2029 or 2028, and they're gonna release it like somewhere in Russia. And the way they're gonna do it is they're gonna put all the DNA into because the closest relative that is alive right now is an Asian elephant, and they're gonna put it into like the embryo, I think, like the stomach of the female of the Asian elephant, and then when it's born, it's gonna be considered a mammoth, and that's how they're gonna start. But they want to create a herd
That's
or whatever.
That's weird. And a question I had in mind while doing this, like, why a mouse, right? And then I was thinking, like, maybe it's a mouse because, like, they could have, like, done more dangerous animals. Because, like, a mouse is not that harmless.
Right. But then also, like, mouse, or mice are the most, like, tested animals.
Yeah, there's certain animals that well known tested, like small apes, mice, rats, stuff like. Because you can have more of them, and it'll be, I guess you can say, like, efficient. You know what I mean? And not only that, if you have a crazy ass mice going around, it's just a mice. You know what I mean?
But
like all I can think about is like Jurassic World.
Oh,
that's what I'm gonna say.
Dr. Grant.
Look, cause like you know how we were talking about like the government like puts like symbols in the movies, what's gonna happen in the future.
You're saying, oh my god.
And I'm like in Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, like especially in Rebirth, like coming out in summer, they like the movie's all about these like mutated dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what if that like movie's gonna show like. That movie came out. It's coming out the same year we came out with the woolly mouse. I'm like, isn't that weird?
That is pretty weird.
You think it's a coincidence?
I don't know. Who knows? Next thing you know, we're gonna have.
Next thing you know, we're gonna have a like over
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
That'll be cool. But another thing is, right? Since you're created to the world, you don't have rights because you're property.
I get what you're saying.
That's scary because let's say if I create somebody, they don't have no human rights because you're property. You're like
you're not an actual human.
You're not an actual human. Like you know how the movie they had of the dinosaurs, they were created by like Gen, like the company, whatever. The same thing. Those animals don't have. You know how like right now they have like a national park or wildlife service and all that. If you like hunt some certain animals, you like go to jail, whatever. You can't do that with property. Because it's considered property. It's not a living being. Well, it is a living being, but like, where do you stop?
It's not classified as
it's not classified. So if I create somebody, a human or a baby, that's my property. You know what I mean? It's like borderline scary. You know what I mean? Because I'm pretty sure it's gonna get to a point. And with that being said, now you got to create new laws. Mm-hmm. And how are the laws gonna favor
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's interesting.
I want to Jurassic Park Island.
You want to go?
I want to go. I would. I'll pay a lot of money.
What if it goes like exactly like the movies?
Hell no. I would not want to go out with the T-Rex or a Spinosaurus or something like that. Yeah. Thank you for watching the podcast.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Peace.
I told you.